Oh my god, guys. This is Cat Attacks Life, the podcast coming at you with the new episode. It's been a minute and this microphone sounds a lot better. I actually just fixed it. But a few minutes ago, I was playing around on the computer trying to make sure that it was working because it's so frustrating. But here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this podcast episode. As we wrap up 2021, this episode's going to be about 2022. What can we expect? Our resolutions, if you believe in that type of thing, what you want, your goals, what you want to set for this new year. I will tell you one thing. I honestly think that 2022 is going to be a way better time. Or the time that we've been hoping for, waiting for. It's been a minute since I feel like we've hit any windfall, or maybe this past year was just a struggling, trying to keep our heads above the water, doing the best that we can, and now 2022 is going to be like the catapult, and we're just going to be excelling in every single aspect of life that we have been waiting for, right? Last couple of years have not been good whatsoever, from personal experience, but I do feel like heading into 2022 there is more hope, there is more light, there is more I guess positivity that's going to come from it. And to start this podcast off, I really don't know what I'm going to be talking about, and to be honest, I just pressed record and said, you know what, let's whatever comes out of my mouth will come out of my mouth, and this is what I'm going to be talking about. So bear with me. I'm sorry. You'll be listening to me rambling for maybe 20 to 30 minutes. I hope you guys like it. If you guys are listening on Spotify, thank you so much for listening on Spotify. I haven't been back on this podcast in a long time just because of things and work and schedule and energy and stress and every single thing you can think of that would prevent me from wanting to talk to you guys. So here I am now. It is December 26th as I record this, right after Christmas, and I have a lot of things to say, but at the same time, I really don't know what to talk about. So we're here. So yeah, we'll start off this podcast by mentioning that I did watch this video. It's from this astrology YouTuber. His name is Cam White, and he did a video on Jupiter in Pisces in 2022, and it's a transit from the last 200 years. I'm not going to get into much detail, but if you want to check out the video, it is called Jupiter in Pisces. Actually, let me pull it up on my computer right here. Yeah, Jupiter in Pisces 2022, what it means for your zodiac sign, by Cam White. And he goes through detail as to what it means to help you understand what that means for you. So it's really interesting. You guys check it out. I've shown and told my a few of my friends about it, and I really do think that it's going to be a great 2022. I hope it is for all of you guys. So yeah, Jupiter in Pisces, basically in layman's terms, and I'll make it short for you guys, that Jupiter likes being in this position. It's one of its favorite signs in its place in the stars, right? Like I said, I'm not trying to get too technical, but when Jupiter is in Pisces, good things happen. And since it's Jupiter is a big planet, it's covering a whole lot of people. I'm saying it's covering the world. I'm saying it's covering generations. We're going to have a good time. And that goes for anyone who has been having a bad time, right? So yeah, look forward to that. It's going to be really cool. Again, if you want to watch the video, it's by Cam White. So with that said, yesterday was Christmas. Happy holidays. I hope you guys had a good one. This year felt so different for me. And honestly, I didn't expect to feel this way. I spent Christmas by myself. I watched Black Widow. I ordered food. I cried a little. I called my brother to help me process all of that. And yeah, I spent Christmas just chilling by myself and disappearing. I texted my friends I texted my friends Merry Christmas and told them how much I'm thankful for them. And after that, I just kind of disappeared from the rest of the world, and I didn't see anybody. And honestly, lately, I do feel like that's what I need. And I do feel like it did me a lot of good. And if you're saying to yourself, well, Kat, you spent Christmas by yourself. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it was just more of so like me realizing that I wasn't paying attention to myself, and maybe Christmas, even if it wasn't Christmas, even if it was another normal day, I'd still disappear and I'd still not want to be around people because of the way I felt. So I do feel better now. That's why I'm recording something and you guys can hear it from my end. Yeah, I feel really good. And plus, I had a couple days after Christmas. Today, tomorrow off, so I don't have to be anywhere and do anything except the things that I want to do. So we're here, and I'm here with you all. Cool. Hope you guys had a good holiday. Hope it wasn't too stressful for you. I'm sending a lot of love and healing to those who are spending it alone or away from their family or just struggling, or maybe they have gone through something tragic. Not everyone's holiday is going to have good merry time. So I want to give my love to those who didn't get to experience that this year. Yeah, this year has been such a, I want to say rush. It's such a new, like, bold, just a lot of change, but some at the same time it's not a lot of change. I don't know how to describe it, but it definitely made me learn a lot. Like, I learned so much this year, and you'll hear that from me every single time I talk, every single time I put out a podcast. But I have learned so much this year, and it is crazy. If you're not learning, you're not living, and I say that all the time. So lately I've been learning more about being present, staying present in the moment, not worrying too much about the next day or the next week. Obviously, I have to balance that out because I can't just live on a moment-to-moment basis. But I do feel like having to retrain my brain away from a schedule or away from a post, away from a, trying to get from the beginning of the shift to the end of the shift. If you work, like, I'm just trying to get my mind away from these things and try to focus on the things in front of me, because, and in this sense that we only know the next 10 seconds and we won't know what the next after that are. So trying to stay present is a big thing for me, and it's definitely a big thing in my 2022 resolution. So like, time doesn't exist, guys. Like, we really don't have time. We don't even know what that is. And I was telling this to my friends, but time is such a construct, and we say that, right? It's man-made, it's a construct, it's not real. That's true, because we honestly had put numbers to the light in the sky. So growing up in this generation, in this society, in this current state where we are alive and we won't be in the next 100 years, we have to abide by time, and we have to abide by schedule and weeks and months and years, or whatever timeline you want to put it on. That's what we are conditioned to do, and it's hard to not follow these things because of the way society works. But I'm trying to live a little less dependent on that and trusting on that as well. Like, I'm trying to trust the next moment and the next thing that I see, or, if I'm not actively doing something, I flow with into the next event, or maybe flow into seeing something spontaneously, like a show or a concert or like a bar, flow into meeting someone just on a chance, right? So I think that way, like, I want to let life surprise me, and I want to be surprised by how I'm able to adapt to these things. I don't think people understand that adaptability is a huge advantage, and I do think that it's trained, and I do think that you can adapt these kind of traits, and gain and obtain these traits, because, like I said, for so long we were so conditioned to depend on the next schedule, the next hour, or whatever, like, what's coming next. But when you're able to adapt to things that you don't know what's coming next, I think that's very powerful. And at the same time, in this journey, it's a lot of fun. So that's what I'm on. Something to think about in 2022 is just to be more present. Like, I do have goals and I do have things that I want to do. Very, very sure of these things that I want to do. So one of these things is travel. Guys, we say that all the time. Obviously, it's been difficult to travel these days, but once that's more open up, I definitely want to get out of here, go to different places, maybe different countries, see new things, try new foods, just be in different cultures. That's definitely something I want to do in 2022. Speaking of, kind of on the side, off topic, but I did get my booster today. And if it wasn't for my dad or my brother telling me to get the booster, I wouldn't have known that it existed. And this is on the side topic, but I've been so disconnected from any kind of news outlet or news sources, and I think I've been that way for a minute now. Like, I really don't know what's happening in the world, and I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing for you guys, or I don't know who that would trigger, but I'm really not keen, or I'm not eager to see what's happening in the world, at least lately. At least it's something that I just don't have an inkling to check. Or sometimes I even avoid it, because how news is just distorts everything, and the media just doesn't make it easy. So, I don't know what's happening. I know, COVID's still here, and there's apparently a new variant that I don't even know. What was it called? Omnichrome, Omnichrome, Google Chrome, right? So I don't know, if it wasn't for my friends telling me these things and my family telling me these things, I wouldn't even realize it. So yeah, I will say that it's good to be disconnected, and it's good to not have that weight in my mind. I feel like I could be very sensitive, depending, I don't know if you are, let me know if you are, but it's if I read a sad story and I start my day like that, it just kind of stays in my brain for the rest of the day. I feel for that, you know what I mean? I don't like reading any sad stories, or anyone going through difficult times, or passing away, or tragedies, or just, it's really heavy. And maybe staying away from it is good for a person like me. And if you're anything like me, you just know that I'd rather be kind of away from these things than having to be on top of things 24/7. I don't know. Is that weird? Everyone's different. I feel I feel good. I don't have I'm not obligated to read anything, and nor would I want to sometimes, right? But yeah. So I really don't know what's happening in the world. That's the point of that story. So you guys would have to update me. I'm just almost living under a rock. When I am on my computer, I'm just on YouTube, or I'm watching something on Netflix. I actually started watching Retsuko. I can't even say it. It's that cartoon Fox, anime Fox on Netflix. Retsuko. Yeah. And she sings heavy metal, and she works a boring job with boring people, but she sings karaoke and it's heavy metal. It's funny. It's really funny, and it's actually kind of not accurate, but the way the duality works in the show, it's just a lot of fun to watch. So I started watching that. Other than that, everything else is just from different things I watch on YouTube. I do have Instagram. But my feed is full of like things that I've liked before. So my feed is gonna be full of like cat videos, Dua Lipa videos, Blackpink memes, Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know. It's nothing that I need to catch up on, if that makes sense. And I'm not even on it 24/7. So yeah, I'm definitely away from things. Trying to get into new things as well. So it's gonna be a very interesting time. Let me know what you're up to for this upcoming year. Let me know if you have any goals in mind as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, yeah, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Yeah. What else? Other than that, just trying to kind of regulate my own emotions and stuff. Just kind of remembering how to do that. The more I grow older, the more I realize that everyone's emotional capacity is completely different. And when I talk about emotional capacity, I don't mean the way that you can be compassionate, if that makes sense. Not the way that you can be empathetic. Not the way that you can like listen. That's not what I mean. Like obviously that is different for everybody, but I mean like their like emotional capacity. If you know me, just know that I'm like very moody, and I can be very moody. And when I catch myself be like moody, I wonder how it looks and feels to other people. But when I say emotional capacity, I mean like everyone's way of like dealing with certain things and seeing certain things are so different. And like I catch myself one day like being so down or like moody, and the next day just so out of my head. Like my head's like I'm not even here present. It's just up in the air. So I wonder how that is for everyone else, or for you listening, because it's definitely interesting to know. Sometimes, and I feel bad when I say this, sometimes when people talk to me, I don't even like, I space out and I catch the last thing they said. I'm sure I'm not the only one who does that, but like I feel like that means my capacity is just not like, it has to recharge. It has to just like shut down for a second because it's not operating correctly. So that's how I see it. Yeah, and speaking of, my head has been up in the clouds for a while now. It's been a couple months, I think, since like October, maybe before that, but like everything's just feels so big and grand, and like all my ideas are just above my head into the clouds, and I've been like that for a minute. Like it's hard to stay grounded. Staying present is one thing, but staying grounded is another. So yeah, I think I think that's one of my resolutions as well. Is just to recognize when I start to float when I start to float up and I have to bring myself back down. I wonder like different techniques. I stretch in the morning. Sometimes I meditate. I don't meditate every day. I actually ordered myself this thing for Christmas. Well, I ordered it because it was a gift. Anyways, it's called the kalimba thumb piano, and it's one of those, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It looks like a wood block, but then there's like metal tines. That's what they're called, tines, sticking out of it, and each one has a note, and you're pressing it with your thumbs. That's what it's called, a kalimba. I actually bought one, and it's coming in tomorrow, and I'm really excited. I feel like that's going to be a good way to keep me like grounded and focused on something and like learn something new. I love music, so it's going to be a lot of fun to learn that. I'm excited for that. Like I'm just trying to find ways where I can help myself stay grounded and just help myself stay cognizant instead of having my head up in the clouds. And that's, again, training my brain to do these things. Another thing in my 2022. Guys, I honestly think my 2022 is going to be very, very spiritually transformative, and like aside from having like new goals and new concrete ideas and just more motivation in general. I do think that 2022 is going to be a very transformative, like metaphysical year for me, and I really can't wait. That's something that I'm trying to focus on. That's one of my focuses, to make sure that like spiritually I'm good, physically I want to match that, and emotionally I want to match that, because I honestly think that I've been neglecting some of my feelings for a while now, and neglecting some of my like routines and self-care patterns that I need to get back to. So yeah, let me know what you're up to in 2022. Want to keep this podcast kind of short. I just wanted to update you guys on what I've been doing and what I've been thinking. I'm okay. I have been away from like any kind of my outlets, like my podcast. I've been away from my tarot channel just the last couple months of this year, but I definitely want to kick that back into full gear again. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to this video on this channel, Cat of Tax Life. If you guys want to check out my tarot channel, it's called Cat of Wands Tarot on YouTube. I am on Instagram as well, at Cat of Wands. If you guys want to follow me, I'm actually there more often, so I'll update my story with fun things. If you want to catch up, send a message, let me know how you're doing, and we'll talk, catch up, or whatever. So yeah, expect more things for me into 2022. I feel like there's a big change that I'm going to be reaching very soon, and are actively trying to search for these changes. So let's do this. Let's get into this year, guys. 21 minutes and 32 seconds. I want to finish this podcast on 22 seconds exactly, and just to make it so. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you so much for listening to me. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you in the next one. This has been Cat Attacks Live, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.